makes me excited. Makes me excited, you know what I'm saying? We got news today. We've got all kinds of breaking news that Honey sent me. If it's your first time, this is Honey, I Shrunk the News. Me and Honey, we get together and we cover some news. That's about all it is. Honey likes when I shrink it. So what that kind of means is, typical news. It might have some politics. Hell, there might even be some sports in there. If there's funny sports, I'll do some sports. Or if I want to do something crazy, fine. But most of the time, Honey likes me to shrink it down to the pure smut. So the stuff that nobody really wants to read, but you need in your life. And so we're going to start this edition today with some news that I just saw here. Let me get to my comments. Oh, snap. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, I missed the comments going on. LFG, good evening. Prove you're crazy. Well, I am on a lot of meds. I did go through a weird thing with epilepsy where I'm pretty sure I had something called hypergraphia for a while, where I just wrote lists all the time and just kept writing things for no reason. And then once I got on a bunch of epilepsy meds, that tended to stop. So that would be about as legitimately crazy, I could say. Steve Aretaville, damn right. I do love Steve Aretaville. I can't help it. That's one thing. If you're all right, yeah, I'll be honest with you. If you're on here, did you save the things you wrote? Well, a lot of them are Light Farms Giant songs. The other lists, yeah, I'm sure they're in notebooks somewhere, but it honestly kind of creeps me out. But no, I would just write stuff all the time. It's fine. But once you get on epilepsy meds, that particular electricity thing just kind of goes away or whatever, or at least suppresses down a little bit. So it's still there, but not in the same way. So that's as close as I can say that I'm crazy, but we're all a little there. Anyway, if you're joining me now on Honey, I Shrunk the News because I forgot to play the intro, I was saying this is Steve Aretaville. So Steve Aretaville's fun because I used to drink a little bit, tiny bit, have a drink every now and then. Funny thing happened when the freak flipped. I didn't have to do near as much work at night anymore. So I did increase my margarita intake a little bit where I was like, oh, I don't have to scour the news. I always knew you were the Life Farms. Actually, that's not me. Sorry. I didn't officially admit that. That was not an official admission in any way. I do love karate. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so margaritas have become a much bigger part of my life. It's the summertime, too. So, one margarita, get on here, do the streams, doesn't hurt me at all. I take this very seriously, though. Don't take that as a reflection. Anything done during the day at 2 in the afternoon, there's obviously no Rita involved. If it's 5 p.m. or after, Honey lets me get a little Rita. Do you drink tequila, too? No, I don't know that I've ever drank tequila straight. Maybe once I've actually sipped it. I don't know. I think I might be kind of a wuss. I think I might just girly, sugary drinks, but I'm not sure. I don't mind tequila. I like the way it makes me feel. Are you jumping on with Kevio later? I'll watch. He's got his own stuff going. He's got game night, and he's doing the other thing with Jake, I think. So I'll be watching right there. Damn right, you're on Margs right now. DJ Truck Nuts was fun. Sorry, I won't admit that one either. But yes, DJ Truck Nuts, those are a lot of fun to do because I don't really have to sing or do anything like that, or because I really hate singing. So, oh man, here we go. Margs are good until you tear down a towel bar with your forehead. Oh yeah. Tommy G, send me some Rex. Because I know sipping on tequila is cool. I think if I went to a fancy establishment or bar, I would look way cooler trying to sip on a tequila versus order a margarita or pina colada like I do, or a gin drink like I'm one to do. So yes, give me some recommendations. I'll try it. Do I have to have a fancy ice cube, or is tequila one of those things that you can kind of drink at room temperature? I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy room temperature beverages, but If that's the way it's supposed to be served, I'm down. What up, Escobar? You should sing your next stand-up in that comedy club. I think we looked it up. TK's is still in business. TK's is breaking. Last I checked, TK's Comedy Club in Addison, maybe? Dallas? I don't know. I think maybe that's Addison. Is still in business and operational. So shout out to, that establishment. The problem with sipping is it turns into not sipping. That is what I worry about. And actually, I don't worry about that. So I could easily chug something, but my body typically stops me. But I do worry if I really get into the taste of straight something, ooh, that sounds effective. And I might get real into drinking stuff that's really effective. Because stuff like margaritas, you got to drink a lot of it, and it's, cut with other stuff like sugar and ice and stuff like that. But if I get in on the straight stuff, whew, I may go down that road hard. Chill it, I like that. Can do, and drink it how you like it. I need it ice cold. Okay, so some people like it ice cold. The music mixes you don't do are exquisite and catchy. Well, thank you very much. All right. I haven't played the intro yet. If it's your first time, again, Honey sends me the news clips every day or the news stories, and then we go through them in a segment we call Honey, I Shrunk the News. I think it's this one. Now it's time for this.
Seems like you don't have a clue, so honey, I shrunk the news. You look like you got too much to do.
Honey!
So honey, I shrunk.
Come on.
Honey, I shrunk. Honey, I shrunk the news.
One day he's going to just start dancing and it's going to freak y'all out. I'll figure out how to do that. Oh, great question from Droopy Dog here before we get into the official news stuff. So that was a fun little preamble. That F on your hat is for fuck off. I'll put that one on the screen in a minute. What is eating the worm? So in Mexico, that's something I think like tourists did, or I heard they did in the 90s. Was that like a Senor Frogs kind of establishment thing? Or were there tequila bottles that were sold with a worm in them? Or did worms grow if the tequila was old? I don't know much about the worm thing, but I have always heard about eating the worm will get you really messed up. All right, now I'll move on to this one. This F hat is actually... Oh, my hair looks bad. It's for the hit TV show Frasier. They sent it to me. Ugh. So I used to do a Frasier podcast that's kind of okay. It's not great. I was just like kind of testing out audio equipment and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I'll talk about Frasier. So they knew that I had put that stuff up online. Oh, my hair's all wacky now. So they sent me this hat and a big thing when they did their premiere on Paramount for their reboot. And I didn't even watch the reboot other than the first episode. So I feel bad. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong hair. This is embarrassing. Oh, I hate when it happens live. Mezcal. Monster Energy makes alcohol. Oh, man. See, live streaming an LFG song would be fun. I did see somebody request that earlier. I haven't done one in ages. I can't even remember the last one I did. I think maybe Frozen in Salina was the last one. Does Honey have a cousin named Molasses? I did consider putting Aunt Jemima over here, or like a molasses or a big syrup bottle, or Mrs. Butterworth. Sorry, not Aunt Jemima, Mrs. Butterworth, because that's the one that's like the bottle that looks like a humanoid syrup lady. Aunt Jemima is just the picture of Aunt Jemima, and sorry about that. I think Aunt Jemima's might have changed now. I think that's like terribly offensive, the whole brand. All right. I now carry guilt for fucking up Frasier. Love your hat. Frasier's fine. I actually think it's an incredible show. I have not watched the renewal season that just ran last year on Paramount Plus and CBS. I watched the first episode, and I'll catch up on it at some point. But the original run, outstanding, wonderful series. Won Emmys every year for writing. It's very theatrical. It's a very, very sharp show. I love it a ton. Anyway, breaking news. We're going to get right to it. 9 minutes and 51 seconds into it. We'll get right into it. Panic Room. I did hear that commercial again today. And admittedly, I used to listen to the station that I won't mention their call sign. What do I care? Or their station signals. I used to listen all the time, so I heard that damn commercial all the damn time. Now I don't listen all the time, as you can imagine. There's no reason for me to listen up until the point when my buddies are on. So I'll listen then, and that's when I'll listen. But I had not heard it until today, and I guess I probably just take my headphones off at commercials. Sorry, sales. But I did hear it today, and it's a real wonder that they've run that campaign for this long. Shout out to that particular sponsor, who I'm not going to name, but really incredible that commercial exists and has been on the air for this long. Because I do remember saying in early April, I think it was April 5th, I remember saying, hey, I haven't heard it in 4 or 5 days. I think maybe it only ran through the end of Q1. And I was really excited. And then I heard it on April 6th, and I was like, damn it, there's that stupid commercial again. Frasier was good. Thank you, Robert Weir. Thank you for the Sarah. And it was a really great show. The writing matched the acting ability of the actors and cast. Yes. The casting was incredible. And that's the tough part about the reboot. And they're trying to get more people back this year, but David Hyde Pierce didn't come back to do it, so Niles isn't there. And if they get a third season, maybe he'll come back. But the reasoning behind it, and I did not expect this to turn into a Frasier pod, but is that he thought he'd really exhausted all he could do with the character. And he doesn't really have anything else to bring to it. Whereas I guess Kelsey Grammer likes continuing on with the character, but I guess David Hyde Pierce has left that behind. Obviously, Martin, the guy who played the dad in the show, he's passed, the actor John Mahoney. But they have brought in other actors, like the one who played Roz, Perry Gilpin. She was on the show, I believe, once last year, and she'll be back a bunch this next season. The woman who played his ex-wife, Lilith, I forget her actor's name, or the actor's name, I apologize. But she was back one time as well. So they've gotten other people. I know they brought back Gil Chesterton, who was the restaurant critic. So that is one thing I loved. It's a radio TV show. I loved news radio as a TV show. I loved Frasier. All Frasier did was take calls. Frasier was a call-based show, and then he was pontificate. Who wins, Frasier versus Seinfeld? Depends on my mood. Seinfeld's multiple storyline, so they're very different, because this is a great question. Frasier is extremely theatrical, where many of the episodes are based around miscommunications that turn into farces, where the audience knows something, but 3 or 4 of the characters, or maybe only one of the characters on screen, has no idea what's happening. And it might all play out in 1 or 2 sets. Versus Seinfeld, where what made it incredible, especially as it got good, was multiple storylines taking place and then coalescing at the very end of the episode, where you'd have an A line, a B line, a C line, and a D line that all somewhat intersected, whether it's, Jerry and Kramer, hitting golf balls, Kramer hitting golf balls to the ocean while Costanza is talking about becoming a marine biologist and all this other stuff, and it'll all kind of culminate in the end of the episode there and dovetail into this final ending where it all kind of comes together. So that's what I love about Seinfeld. The writing is so clean there, and the jokes are so damn good and New Yorky. Frasier was more for yuppies, and more for like theatrical high society types, but it was just so damn sharp. Like, it had to be such a fun show to write. I would not have been smart enough to write on the show in any way, shape, or form. Like, those writers must have had so much fun. So you captain the ship, sir. It's up to you to let this not be a Frasier pod. Love your content. Droopy, you had the best questions, but I'm always on Margs. That's right. So Frasier pods are fun. Like I said, I need to watch the newest one. That's where I feel bad, is that I committed to the original run so much, and the new run back, I'm not going to say it's bad, because it's not bad. I need to watch all of it before I make any judgment on it. So if you did watch it, awesome. But yeah, Kramer in the title list. That's what I mean. Like, stuff. Those are the episodes where you're like, this is incredibly good. We're all episode long. You've got Kramer coming back to the episode, talking to people about how his golf game is going. And then you've got, I believe in that episode, Costanza's pretending to be a marine biologist to impress a woman who might work I don't even know. That might just be the woman he's dating at the time. I'd have to look up the episode to remember what the Jerry and Elaine plot were in that episode. But I'm sure Jerry had something going on with either a love interest or a work storyline that was minor to allow those other two storylines to flourish. And either Elaine was there and had a storyline, or maybe she didn't. Sometimes they would just hang out with three people and that would be it. But for all I know, Elaine was on a vacation somewhere and somebody was trying to feed deli meat underneath her door or something like that. I know that's a different episode, but still. So that's what made that show so good. Both equally rewatchable. I will tell you, Frasier is the only one that has a odd amount of fans that live in the Frasier sleepers category. So there is an entire Reddit community that's rather large, actually, dedicated to Frasier sleepers who just put this on and it puts them to sleep within like 10 minutes. So it's a real odd thing. I've never seen that about Seinfeld, but it's a very interesting phenomenon with Frasier, is that the tone of it, the tone of Kelsey Grammer's voice, the way it goes to title cards and interstitial cards, and the way it kind of cuts between maybe a radio format for a brief amount of time and then maybe like a father-son kind of thing at other points. I don't know. It puts people to sleep. It's weird. All right. Thanks, Andy. Okay. 16 minutes in. Justin Timberlake, stiff drink at the Hamptons hotel bar before his DWI bust has been revealed. That's right. This is breaking news. Let's just copy it and put it up on the screen. I see why not. I see no reason why not, I should say. Let me save this and let me show it. Justin Timberlake, stiff drink at the Hamptons hotel bar before his DWI bust is revealed. The next quote is, I'll put it up on the screen. We're going to hide this one, then we're going to edit it. Save this and show it. Put it up there. Damn it. It's all alcohol. That's right. Justin Timberlake downed a stiff double martini before his arrest for allegedly drunk driving in the Hamptons earlier this week. Timberlake, again, 43. Really stings to read that. I feel like he should be 52, even though he looks incredible. Ordered what is known as a Vesper Martini. So the Vesper Martini is all alcohol. There is no mixer. So that's kind of what dude was mentioning earlier in here, that you could just sip on tequila. That's what I mean. I think it's a baller thing to do. It's just like, yeah, let me order a such and such. And really what you ordered was a straight-ass tequila that costs like $30 a pour or something. Is that a lot? I actually don't know how much per pour it is. I don't know tequila prices. Sorry. I've never ordered fancy tequila. Excuse me. Margs are getting me right now. What's heartburn? Do I have heartburn? Okay, so the Vesper Martini. There is no mixer. The drink was made famous by James Bond author Ian Fleming and named after his character Vesper Lind. And it blends Grey Goose vodka, Tanqueray gin, and the wine aperitif Lillet Blanc. Justin Timberlake. Okay, of course it's all shaken, not stirred, of course. So you can go order a Vesper Martini. If you order a Vesper Martini, it comes with Grey Goose vodka, Tanqueray gin, and a wine aperitif Lillet Blanc. I'm kind of probably going to order this. I'm not going to lie. The shaken, not stirred thing is extremely important, too. Justin Timberlake feels older than he is because he's repeatedly survived shitty PR situations. That's very true. It's also because he's just been too damn successful for too long. So $10 to $2.50 a bottle. I think I've got some like $50 bottles out in my little bar area. I'm just bad at mixing drinks. And I don't know if this happens to anybody else. I don't trust myself to make good drinks. I feel, and this is probably just my low self-esteem talking, I feel like if I make it, it sucks. No matter how good I make it. I'm never like, damn, that's a good drink. I'm always like, you know what? Let me trust a professional with making my drink. I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to probably sit down and commit the time to learn what I'm doing. That way I'm either delusional enough to think it's good, or I just build up enough fake confidence that I'm fine with it. I think that's the way to go. And I think I'm going to start with a Vesper Martini because it doesn't sound like I got to do much. I just have to mix Grey Goose vodka, Tanqueray gin, and Lillet Blanc. Shaken, not stirred. Thank you, affordable quality options. Yeah, I more need to know like what to order out. Like, because yeah, I'll definitely buy some stuff for the house. That's good. I need to look cool when I go out with my wife because I have no drink game. I basically am into espresso martinis when I go out right now because it makes me feel like I drank, I think, a Four Loko, where like I kind of get a buzz that takes me up and I kind of get a buzz that takes me down. And I think that's really bad for my heart. I think it's going to kill me. Was there an olive involved? It does not mention that. Let me scroll down. Now the picture, okay, so let's go right over here. I'm going to share the screen. We're going into share screen mode. It has to happen. Share it. Share the damn screen. The whole Megillah. So the picture here, Timberlake told cops he had, quote, one martini. The picture has olives. But all this stuff up here, look at that handsome beast. It just mentions blending Grey Goose vodka, Tanqueray gin, and Lillet Blanc. It does not mention the olives specifically. It's safe to say that the level of alcohol in this martini is equivalent to a double of just about any other cocktail. Timberlake told cops he had just one martini. Yeah, all right, this is a developing story. Check back for more updates. Bourbon and Dr. Pepper. Is that a joke? Somebody else tell me. Bourbon and Dr. Pepper? Is that a thing? That's why I drink it straight. But I do make a nice espresso martini. They're so good. That's the thing. Like, I feel bad when I order a second one because I'm like, I'm going to die, right? Like, this can't be good for me. I know it's not because it has the words coffee in it. And I've got the stuff to make them here too. And I've looked up the good recipe where I'm like, no. I don't want... I mean, yeah, I'll use a little Kahlua or a little, like, coffee liqueur if I need to. But I want some real damn espresso in there, too. And that's when I know I'm like, I don't know that I'm supposed to mix espresso with alcohol like this. But damn, it feels good, doesn't it? Makes you feel great. God, now I want one right now. Where can I get one? Almeca Altos Agave Tequila is good for Mark's Blue Label. All right. I got to remember all these. I wonder if I can see these comments later. I think I can. Maybe I can. My favorite marg is a Vesper Water Martina and Roofies. Oh, man. A good roofie circle. If you've never been in a roofie circle, that's where you take a roofie every day to forget about the previous day. And then at the end of the day, you forget that you took a roofie earlier in the day. So you just go ahead and take another one. And then when you wake up, you take another one to forget all the stuff you did the night before. And then by the end of the day, you forgot that you took a roofie because you roofied yourself. So it's just a roofie circle. It's pretty fun. I like a beer teeny, draft beer with 3 olives. All right, that actually sounds legit. Wait, if you just give us the whole... What is a McGillicuddy? That is Lucy Ricardo's fake last name is the McGillicuddy, if I'm not mistaken. Great question, Andy Tarek. I'm a big fan of Lucille McGillicuddy. She's a wonderful lady. Crossfading. Yeah, crossfading. Is crossfading when I go up and down on espresso martinis and vodkas, or is crossfading when I smoke a little herb and drink a little marg? Because if that's the case, then I think I'm crossfading. Espresso martinis are fucking amazing. Even if the bartender is bad. That's what I'm saying. I can get it at a damn Dave & Buster's, and I'm still like, hell yeah, this is fine. I'm like, I know that guy doesn't know what he's doing, but I'm fine with this. It's totally okay. All right. Moving on to our next story here. Let's get to the breaking news sounder. Apparently, this is according to the Daily Mail, and this is an exclusive. I'll go ahead and share the screen again. I'm not afraid to do it because this is labeled as an exclusive here. Exclusive. The sneaky truth about the McDonald's $5 meal revealed. Okay, an exclusive is what this says. I want to see what got me into this article. Yeah. The headline that I saw initially was exclusive, McDonald's defends $5 meal deal. All right. Is that even, I mean, God, we used to eat for $5 all day long. McDonald's president has come out fighting after criticism of the fast food chain's new $5 meal. But he wasn't so forthcoming about a major catch that's emerged for customers in many parts of America. Yeah, I remember Daily Mail's like a UK place, so they'll talk about us all weird. It's kind of fun, though. Customers will get a total of 4 items. This must sound insane to them. Everything, everything about us demanding more food for $5. All right. Customers will get a total of 4 items for $5. Either a McDouble or McChicken sandwich. Weigh in on the comments of what you would go with there. I think when I was 15, I would have gone McChicken all day. I feel like the last few times I've ordered a straight McChicken, it was like a hockey puck. I couldn't even bite into the McChicken, I feel like. But the McDouble, oniony, very oniony. So I might have to make some adjustments there. Small fries, small soft drink, and 4 McNuggets for $5. So you get potentially a McDouble, small fry, which is crap. Nobody wants a GD small fry. Like, the small fry is the most unsatisfying. Like, you're going to be left wanting more. Undoubtedly. If you get a small fry, it's like edging. Small soft drink, also kind of a rip when you've got something that salty everywhere, and 4 McNuggets. It's fine. Apparently, this offer hits restaurants on Tuesday, June 25th. It was thought that not every restaurant will offer the deal. I'm sorry, I touched my nose there. I swear I don't do Coke. Legitimately. With those that have higher labor and rent costs opting out. Makes sense. Because I know the $5 footlong deal, like that hurt so many franchisees. And I ripped it apart. Back when the $5 footlong was going and they had that cool song. $5, bum, 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 $5, bum, bum, bum. $5 foot long, or whatever it was. I think I'm out of key. But, God, that song was so damn catchy. Oh, my gosh. So the trick to Mickey D's is to alter your sandwich so they have to make it fresh. This is what my kids say. How is this a known thing? Because my kids will say this. They'll tell me you have to say something that tricks it up. That way they have to make it fresh, which does make total logical sense. I'm not doubting it at all, but yeah, my kids do this too. They'll say no onions, or they'll say no pickles, or something like that. I'm like, all right, no salt on the fries, small fries for kindergartners, right? Have you seen a small fry? I think it still comes in that shit bag. I'm sorry for cursing, but for real, that bag is a piece of shit. If it still if it comes in a cardboard box, it's fine, but I bet it looks like I bet it looks like a pocket protector. Come on. If you're going to get those fries, you got to get a medium at least. I don't care who the hell you are. My God. No salt on the fries. That sucks. They probably are good. I actually have never tried that. I bet they're probably still damn good just from the oil and the McDonald's fry tactic. So I've never actually tried no salt, but I feel like I'm eating it for the salt. I'm probably going to order McDonald's after this. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Again, sorry, my nose just itches. I'm not doing blow. I swear. It's not 2009 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8. But it has now emerged that McDonald's has a sneaky way around the $5 people who are opting out. Because again, the $5 footlong deal was bad for like franchisees and stuff. So people in like Alaska, California, Hawaii, and like Manhattan, New York, they'll charge $6. Yeah, no salt. I don't know if that's a bit. God, my nose. Ah! Honey, do something. Ugh. All right. Yeah. They have to cook a new batch, then you salt yourself. Shit. Man, you guys are teaching me all the tricks here. Because they did used to give you those little salt packets that looked like blow. I used to cut them up like that. Remember, you could they came in like the little white things and it would have like a foldable thing. For all I know, they still exist, but I don't go into McDonald's or Wendy's anymore and like look for the salt packets and shit. But I know I'm not snorting rails. It's not 1984 again. No, I'm not snorting rails. Believe me, I'd love to cut up a textbook rail right now and have a great time, but kids and I'm 39. I can't snort rails anymore. I'd die. All right? I would love to. It'd be incredible. Some fans are also disappointed that the deal will only last for a month. Oh, okay. Rather than all summer, like deals from rivals. Well, I don't give a crap about that. Okay, well, Burger King's almost identical $5 offer launched last week. I've seen nothing about the King. Until the King brings back those commercials with that creepy-ass king that intercepts passes on the football field and then runs it back, I don't think that I'm going to know about Burger King's marketing. Oh, actually, I take that back. Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Bacon, Triple, Whopper, something like that. Okay, I take it back. Burger King's done a good job. They need to do both, though. They need the King intercepting NFL passes while they sing me that Whopper song. Yeah, Andy, they make new fries, then you just salt yourself. Man, you guys are blowing my mind. And they're hot. Toyota's hot, hot, hot. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da, feeling hot, hot, hot. Yeah, I love that hot, hot, hot song. They used to play it in commercials a bunch in the 90s, so now anytime I see the word hot, I just think about like a local regional a regional marketing campaign for like North Texas Toyota dealers, where it's like, Toyota's hot, 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 ba-da-dum. And then yet they talk about, here's the reasons everyone's getting into a Toyota Camry this year. If you need to find one, get to your North Texas Toyota dealers today. It's an incredible campaign. No rails, but espresso martinis. That's the thing. Like, I'm too old for rails. I can't go back to rails. I'm too old. I'm not in the club scene. Can't do that. BK dude is weird. Espresso martini rail. The BK dude is weird. I love the King, though. When you didn't see it coming, when the King would intercept a pass and then like throw a lateral, or somebody would throw a lateral to the King and the King would run it back. Like throw an option play. That's the only sports I like. I mean, like, I enjoy watching hockey. I mean, that's fine when it's the playoffs. I'm not going to sit down and watch every damn game. But the King, gosh, there should be one King play in every NFL game. That would make me watch, where they're like, hey, one time during the NFL game, each player will get to put in their King. And the King, basically, you can't touch the King or something like that. Like, there's no pass interference called on the King or something. Or, like, you have to give him a 5-yard window. Like, there's got to be something for the King that makes him come on the field hot. But I'll workshop it, because I think the King needs to be in legit football. All right, so yeah, Burger King. It says almost identical deal, but it doesn't say what the deal is. Apparently, McDonald's also has brought back app-only espresso martini rail, not app-only for that, but free fries Friday that allows customers to snag a free medium fry with any $1 minimum purchase. $1? There's nothing that's $1. BK King is a psychopath? He looks sweet. He looks like Honey. I think him and Honey would get along. I think BK King was a great thing that made kids go to sleep well at night. I bet these deals are because kids are out of school and they'll come in to eat with an allowance. Man, I used to do that all the time. I don't really let my kid like cruise the neighborhood, although I guess my kid's 12 or whatever, and he's pretty mature. So like, if he wanted to go cruise, fine. But man, yeah, I used to rollerblade and bike down to Taco Bell and do whatever the hell I wanted for $5 back in the day. That would have been amazing. Back when tacos were 49 cents. Oh, I could have eaten my weight in tacos when I was a 5th grader. I mean, that kid's almost in 7th grade now, but still. All right, he's the ultimate photo bomb, damn right. Sleep paralysis, but it's just the Burger King singing that song in the corner of your room. Man, that does feel like a horror movie. Now, that's another thing they should do. They should put the King in more fictional IP, like horror films. Because they've got him. They own the King. You might as well put him in creepy areas. All right, I will preach. I bet BK and King... yeah, the BK King and Honey, those two, whoo, they slayed, buddy. BMX bike and jorts, hell yeah. All right, moving on to our next story. Yeah, because there's nothing else there. It's just something about how McDonald's is going to make a lot of money. McDonald's made an eye-watering 14.5 billion profit last year, and I'm probably going to order one after this. Damn it. It's only 7. I need a... KT was talking about McDonald's earlier. Now I'm talking about McDonald's? What the hell am I supposed to do? These fries are addicting. God. And I know they're just made of plastic. I know they're probably made of, I said, like, plastic made of children's bones or something terrible, but they're so good. They're so good. All right. I'm going to share this over here now. Share this screen because it's important. I haven't seen any official write-ups of this, but I don't care. I'm going to pull myself off the screen. That's how much I care about this. So there is a woman named Uju Anya. Mind control. Now I'm hungry. I hate how much subliminal advertising works on me. I hate how much normal advertising works on me. Like, I take it back. Not all normal advertising. Like, there's some stuff where I know, like, there's no way in hell I'll ever buy that product. But if I'm kind of already halfway in on your product and I hear it mentioned, like, I'm such a sucker. Like, you could just talk about the Ninja Turtles and I'll order a pizza. You know, where I'm like, you know what, I need pizza right now. And then whoever's my go-to pizza brand, they're going to get it. So, same thing. Like, I think I remember playing a video game, like, again, 15 years ago. I don't really game, or in any way, shape, or form anymore. My kids game. They do a lot. They have fun. But I think I was playing a Madden, 2010, Fries and another Marg. I do have another Marg right here. Oh, I'm not up on the screen. It's right here, baby. Woo! So I was gonna say, I totally lost my train of thought. I can't. You'll see. I've done too much in my life. You just watched my brain break right there. Couldn't tell you. Short-term memory's dead. Train of thought gone. It's all gone. It's all gone. I read a comment. And I lost it. Couldn't recall it for the life of me. Couldn't tell you what I was talking about 28 seconds ago. I would have to check the tape. You've seen it happen. This is ADHD at work, I think. This is why the teachers put me on it. Exactly. Don't Steve Biden me. All right. I'm pulling off the screen share. Don't Biden me. I'm still here. I haven't wandered off, but I will say, I do sympathize with people who are on meds. I mean, I could pull up the side effects list of these meds. It's short-term memory loss. It's on there. It's not just me. I also think that's a side effect of some of the other substances I might have used for the better part of my life now, unfortunately. So, which one of us comments, fries and another Marg broke me, I think, is that. I think it was Rob Weir who told me to order fries. I think I had moved on from fries, and I went back to fries, and then I lost it all. I lost it. It's all bad. Oh, God love you. That's right.
Seems like you don't have a clue.
Thank you, honey.
So honey, I shrunk the
Reset.
news.
Start the show over.
You look like you got too much to do. So honey, I shrunk. Honey, I shrunk. Honey, I shrunk the news.
All right, we're going to start the show over real quick. My short term was 80 cents Amelia. That's right. Robert for the win. All right, so a young woman, I believe, named Uju Anya. I don't know her in person, but she made the bold move this week of tweeting at The Boys TV show, which I have not caught. I hear it's good. I think they're on season 4. Yeah, it says right there, season 4. I need to watch The Boys. I'm really bad about TV. I do watch more movies nowadays, and it's not even movies that I need to watch. It's movies that sorry, I take it back. It's not movies that I always should watch. Like, I'll watch garbage movies with you guys where I'm like, hey, I'm going to go watch Back to the Future 2 in theaters because that's what I want to do with my night. Where I could have knocked out 3 episodes of something. Where I'm like, nope, I'm sorry. I'm going to go watch an old movie in a theater because that's what I want to do. So I like watching old stuff or stuff I haven't seen that I need to see, or brand new things that I absolutely need to see as well. So TV is tough for me lately, and I used to love TV. It's tough. It's weird. So, sorry for the moving pictures. I'll pause that. Hello at the Boys TV and Sony Pictures. Your writer calls out the writer by name. Which, by the way, let me tell you, on any TV show, it's not just one writer. Just because one writer is assigned to the TV show's writer's credit, that does not mean they wrote every line of the TV show in any way, shape, or form. Usually they do the story outline and they're responsible for it, but that does not mean that they wrote every single line in the episode. It's typically going to go through a writer's room, unless you're like John Schwartzwelder on The Simpsons, who would famously just like write from home years ago and just send stuff in. I think because he just smoked way too much. I'll have to go look that up. But they're like, Schwartzwelder, just go home. You smoke way too much here. Like, you're fine. Your episodes are always perfectly polished. You're fine. American Reunion, that's a good call. I'm sorry. Because I did realize, I think, when we were on the air the other night, I don't know that I've seen that one. I definitely remember seeing Wedding in theaters. And maybe Reunion would come back to me as I watched it. But as y'all were mentioning it, and I have not gone and looked up the full plot synopsis, I don't know that I saw Reunion. So I'm happy to do it. Shots fired at Steve's sister by Steve. No, okay, hold on. So comedy variety show is very different than a scripted show. So what I'm talking about is a scripted show. So on a scripted show, they will assign one writer as the lead writer of each episode. So you'll know, like, in advance, either you had an idea for an episode, or they'll just say, hey, we have a story idea as a show, and we want you to take the lead on this episode, on episode 4 of, like, The Office. So, like, hey, the two main writers, Gene and Lee Stupitsky or whatever, hey, you guys are going to be the lead writers on this one, versus, like, when BJ Novak, an actor on the show, say, hey, I've got an idea for this, can I be the lead writer here? That does not mean they wrote every joke in the show by any means. Like, it has to go through a writer's room. My little sister, who works on a variety show, so she's on maternity leave right now, so she's not working currently. But on a variety show, they don't assign a single writer to a show. It's written by 9 writers. So when they show the writers list, they show every single writer, including John Oliver, as a writer there. So it's different than a scripted series show. That would be the only difference there. So no, she is one of, like, I believe 9 writers on that show right now. Maybe there's more. So that's what I love about this tweet, though, is that this woman, who I don't know, I don't care to know, probably. She's got a buttload of followers, but I don't care. She's followed by Stan Verrett, Billy McLeod, and Lori Kilmartin. Lori Kilmartin, a fine comedy writer from the Conan show years ago, good stand-up comedian. But she calls out the writer. Your writer, Jessica Chow, on season 4, episode 2 of The Boys. You need to bring her on and interview her one day. That would be awesome. Let her meet Honey Bear. She's busy doing real thing. I mean, actually, I take that back. Right now she's on maternity leave. She's not doing stuff, but I try not to bother her with my garbage. Basically, like, she had to deal with me so much growing up because she's 5 years younger than me. So she had to watch all the terrible movies that I wanted to watch growing up because I was her older brother. And I turned her on to some good stuff too. Like, she was, 13 or 12 when I'm like, hey, you need to check out Reno 911, not because I'm 17, 18, and it's 2002, 2003. Or I'm like, hey, you need to check out Strangeness with Candy. And she was always into theater and stuff like that. And I kind of had 2 paths where my old man pretty much told me, I can either pay for you to do, like, acting and comedy stuff, or I can pay for you to do music stuff. And I was like, I'll choose the music stuff. I'll take the guitar lessons because, honestly, I think it's going to get me more girls. And it did. So it did not get me all the way to, like, The Daily Show or the Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. But I also made a lot of very different decisions in my life, like having kids and not moving to New York, like, right after college. So my little sister was very, very focused. So I feel bad for her that she had to put up with all my bad movies when she was like 8 and I was like 12 and 13 and probably just had the worst taste and stuff. But as I got older, I did develop better tastes, and she will thank me for turning her on to stuff at an early age. It was heady comedy stuff that involved improv, because that's what she was primarily into versus when she got on Last Week Tonight as a writer. And she had done SNL auditions and stuff like that. So she was more into improv and on stage and performing versus writing. But it's the way this industry goes. If you get an agent and they're like, hey, you're not necessarily the best on-stage performer. And I'm not saying that about her. It's just there's only so many opportunities for this. Right now, the best job for you is to take your talents and be a writer here. That's what she's been very focused on for the last few years. But she's a badass. I feel bad for putting her through all the bad movies. Like Sandler films in the 90s, I love them. I don't know how much girls really connect with the water boy. You know, like, I feel bad making my little sister just hang out and watch garbage Sandler films like that, and now she has to write on a real comedy show. So, Season 4, Episode 2 of The Boys. This woman says that their writer stole her joke from a very popular and widely circulated tweet. She wants payment. Quote, I want payment for my work you commercialized. You commercialized my tweet, damn it. And from which you're profiting because you're the boys, which means you're just rolling in dough. Plus writing credit next to Jessica's name. So again, ignoring kind of what I said, that there's probably 10 writers, maybe only 7 to 8 right now. There were cuts after the strikes. But there were probably 7 to 8 writers on there. They don't all get credit. It's not an 8-person writing show. What is it? You feel bad, but yeah, that's it. We used to do a lot of movie marathons. She has good taste on her own. She likes a lot of good stuff. I turned her on to some weirder stuff. That's the only thing I'll ever take credit for. And I know she'll mention that. Like, hey, thanks for turning me on to that stuff at a young age. You know, it's like, all right, cool. All good. I appreciate it. But so this joke that this woman wants credit for is, wow, Tesla stock going down faster than Nancy Reagan at the MGM backlot. Great joke. I don't have a ha 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 or a ba-doom-tsh like KT does. I got to get those on my soundboard. And so what happens on the video, it does not blow. It blows harder than Nancy Reagan on the MGM backlot. Okay, cool. Great. Sounds good. I've always heard quite a bit about this joke. And so this is where community notes are great on Twitter. I think they've been there since before the big E guy took over. Elon Muskia. I think community notes were always there, but maybe he rolled them out more. If not, and he rolled them out, good for him. I like the community notes feature here. So readers added context they thought people might want to know. Good. Uja Anya did not create this joke. Nope. It has been widely used since the 90s. Ooh, that's got a sting. When you went after a TV show publicly, and this has 3.4 million views now at this point, because this woman got up on her high horse and said, you stole my tweet because I talked about Nancy Reagan on the backlot of MGM. And so I said, certainly this can't be the case. Certainly this hasn't been around since the 90s, right? But oh no, readers added additional context that showed one example from another person made the same joke almost a full year before. Let's go take a look at that there. Coronas are going down quicker than Nancy Reagan in an MGM parking lot today, lads. Oh, bummer. That's tough. All right, so of course I did a quick search as well here. I spelled Nancy Reagan wrong because I was fat fingering. Don't quote me on that term. That's not a term I would like to quote myself on. But here it is from December 13, 2021. I'm sorry for all my weird stuff. I'm an SEO, so I've got a lot of weird, extra crap on my search engine. Rumors about First Lady Nancy Reagan having the best BJ game in Hollywood's MGM backlot have resurfaced from Vice.com. So, this is a real story that Nancy Reagan used to love giving mouth hugs to everyone on the MGM backlot. And I guess that's where Ronald Reagan hooked up with her when he was an actor. And yeah, maybe she was. She might have been pounding Coronas. And that's right. I am old Fat Finger Steve. It is scandalous. You better check to see if this chick ever tweeted anything about Honey Bear. Damn right. And I love that Reddit, so you guys aren't in the SEO world now, nor should you ever be because it's pure chaos and garbage. But Reddit was not always as popular as it was. Reddit made a deal with Google about 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago now. But even before that, Reddit, for some reason, saw significant visibility increases in Google search for terms like this: Nancy Reagan MGM backlot. And so number 3 is, was Nancy Reagan really renowned for performing? So let's take a look at what Ask Historians got into three years ago about the not safe for work content here. I understand that this question is rather uncouth, but in light of current events, I've become rather curious as to the validity of rumors of Nancy Reagan's past sexual exploits that have been recently floating around Twitter and beyond. See, apparently Twitter is all down with old Nancy Reagan giving mouth hugs, putting her mouth all around every actor in town. All right, Nancy. Nancy was getting honey that money. That's right. Nancy Reagan. I'm just going to let this one, I'm going to read this one silently. Yeah. I don't remember Reagan as a president. My knowledge of Reagan extends to what people say about the era now, what people say about Reaganomics, and then that weird scene in Back to the Future 2 where Reagan and I think the Ayatollah are fighting about the beef and the hostage special. You must get the hostage special. I think that's pretty much my only familiarity with Ronald Reagan, and I have seen some of the old movies. So I don't remember the Reagan era either. I'm more I came into consciousness in the first Bush years, Clinton era, that kind of stuff. So, to my knowledge, most of these rumors have their roots in Kitty Kelly's 1991 book, Nancy Reagan, The Unauthorized Biography. But how much verifiable truth is there to the claims made in this book? Okay. There's not going to be an entirely satisfying answer to your question. That's because Nancy Reagan did not discuss how much she went down on other dudes. So that's the thing. It's going to be tough because you're just going to have to go off all the people that she went down on. So, of course, everybody's going to be like, yeah, Nancy Reagan went down on me, because why not? If everybody already thinks she went down on everyone, you don't want to be the one guy who's like, no, she didn't want to. Unless you're going to be like, nah, I wasn't into Nancy Reagan. I was getting so much from other ladies, I didn't even need Nancy Reagan. Didn't need it. I was more of a Ronald guy. Maybe that kind of thing. So, was she known for this? Great question. Because I would love, if I did have a Back to the Future time machine, Reagan was a great speech giver. Good for him. Is he the one who said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall? I think I've seen that in a bunch of 80s documentaries. Nancy versus Marilyn? Hell yeah. Lipstick ladies? So was she known for this? That's an interesting thing, because growing up, I certainly did not know, Ronald Reagan, his wife goes down on a lot of dudes. That wasn't a thing that I was like, Nancy Reagan is known for that. So I think nowadays, yes, I think 100%. When I think about Nancy Reagan, I think about how much I would have loved to be a young man on the MGM backlot in the 1950s or whenever this was. So, all right, wonderful. Beautiful story. Okay, my final story of the day All right. This one's a little alarming. Oh, I'm going to get out of screen share here. We don't need to share right now. Breaking again. We don't need to share. That's the breaking news. We don't need to share the screen. Okay? We don't need to. Honey, do we need to? All right. He says he wants to, but I'm not going to. F him. All right. New York jail. Damn right I'm empowering women. I want women to be extremely empowered. Damn right. I want them to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. I want Nancy Reagan to come back to life. Hanging out with me for a while. All right. Final story here. Breaking again. New York jail workers and New York jail workers and officers. I'm bad at reading. Pocketed bribes. Okay, why did they take these bribes? I'm sounding like Tucker Carlson now. Why did they take these bribes? What were they doing with them? Why did they give them the bribes? Why were the bribes given to these officers? Why were the officers so corrupt? What made them corrupt? Did the corruption taint them inside? Was it external factors like the government that tainted them? All right, New York jail workers and officers pocketed bribes to sneak weed into inmates, apparently. Oh, Nancy would love Honey Bear. Honey Bear is sweet. He is a sweet, sweet man. I can tell you, the nectar of the Honey Bear is a coveted item in the First Lady circuit, is what I'll say. All right. New York. Nobody wants that visual. New York jail workers and officers pocketed bribes, so they took money to sneak weed into inmates. Sounds amazing. So a crew of Westchester County jail employees, including current and former corrections officers, were arraigned on bribery charges in a long-running smuggling scam, apparently. 2 jail guards were charged with pocketing thousands of dollars to sneak marijuana and other contraband to inmates. These defendants put their own interest above the safety of incarcerated individuals, employees, civilians, and other corrections officers. Our jails become less safe when corrections officers and others in position of power accept bribes to smuggle in weed. That is terrible. Just terrible. If weed's legal, why can't they weed's legal in New York? Can they not buy it? Can you not buy alcohol in jail? I guess I never thought about that. But you're over 21, so going to jail means you can't ever have... I guess that's right. They do have to make that, toilet wine, right? Man, jail sucks. So who was bribing them? How did they get the thousands of dollars? According to new details released by prosecutors, the scam dated to late 2021 with inmates' pals greasing the jail's workers' palms with hefty payouts to sneak banned items to prisoners behind bars. Okay, so it was buddies of them? No offense, I like my buddies, but I'm not going to pay somebody a bunch of money to sneak some weed into you. I mean, maybe I like you. No, I take it back. I'll try to get you some. If I know a prison guard, sure, I'll try to get you some weed. All right. Never been to jail, but I've heard toilet wine is a thing. Yeah, it's got to be a thing. That's amazing they don't have alcohol in the commissary. You'd imagine, I guess it would lead to lots of fights, though, but there's nothing to do. Let those people get drunk as a skunk in there by themselves. What the hell to that? I don't care. I pay their taxes. If they earn enough money or if their family sends them some money or something like that and they want to buy some booze and drink themselves to death in their cell, what the hell do I care? Let them smoke it up in there, too. It's not supposed to be a pleasure cruise, obviously, if you did some really bad stuff, so I get that, but weird. Okay. I guess it's just weird. I didn't know that was a right that got taken away. Yep, you got to know a guy? Yeah, that makes sense. They make wine from the fruit cups. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Investigators reviewed hours of visiting room surveillance footage and examined dozens of texts between the workers and the prisoners' associates. Tell little cuzzo, this is a quote from one of the texts, I presume, or a call. Tell little cuzzo I'm going to push her an extra $150 on top of what I just did for this next one. An inmate told a friend on the outside about alleged payments to commissary worker sedary hold in a January 2nd call. Okay. So, yeah, you got to be in with the commissary worker. You got to know somebody who works at the prison. You got to give them some cash, and they'll bring some weed in. How they smoking weed in prison? I mean, like, I could figure it out. But also, the minute you smoke weed in prison, I'm going to be like, somebody's smoking weed in here. Holy shit, somebody's got some weed in here? Let me in on that weed, man. So I think that's the fatal, I mean, unless it's weed gummies. Now, gummies, yeah, you could probably just do gummies for days, and you could probably hide those. All rights gone. I mean, that makes sense. If you did stuff that's bad, I want all your rights gone, I guess. I don't want, I mean, I guess I just assumed they were all drunk. I don't know. I never thought they were all stone cold sober. That must be boring as hell, huh? Bummer. Okay. Yeah, I said, so it seems like a $150 wire transfer was made after this woman like smuggled in some weed to somebody, and then another commissary contractor is charged with collecting $500 to sneak in weed in December 2023 and had her clearance revoked later that month. So yeah, 35-year-old, a 39-year-old guy named Peter Cumberbatch. That's not a real name. Peter, all right, I'm not going to judge names here because I'm not judging names, but Peter Cumberbatch, that sounds like he should be a famous British actor, is all I'll say. He shouldn't be wrapped up in this kind of a weed deal. Peter Cumberbatch needs to get his life together. So they're now awaiting termination proceedings after jail investigators and prosecutors have completed their probe. Extremely hot right there. Cumberbatch is accused of collecting $800 in March 2023 to sneak in weed. Yeah. It's just like 5 different dudes. 5 different corrections officers, commissary people. Judge the fuck out of that name, damn right. Yeah, the thing. Peter Cumberbatch of the Massachusetts Cumberbatches, I assume. I mean, what an uptight little snooty piece of garbage. I'm glad he's going down. You know what? Screw you, Peter Cumberbatch, age 39. Actually, that reminds me of something. Age 39. So, if you followed along, you know I'm 39. I'm 39 years old. It happened to me recently. It's actually pretty terrible. I hate that I take it back. It's actually fine. But being 39, it's a weird age. And so this is one day ago. This is not me. I'm going to show this Reddit post here, and I apologize. This appears to be a very Reddit-heavy episode. It's like Tavares says, they smuggle it right in the butt. That's right. Where is Tavares? Where is he? Give me Tavares. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not Tavares. I'm sorry.
Tavares.
Right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So, yes, I did not have this story planned. This popped out at me earlier because, again, I'm 39 years old. And I agree, Andy. Wait until I'm 41. So let me share this screen. Sorry, let me share this screen. This is not me. So I'm in a lot of weird Reddit groups. Don't judge me. Like I said, I did a Frasier pod. So the premise of my pod about a year ago, and I probably should start redoing it. What the hell else do I have to do? Was basically me and a buddy would go through it again. I was just like testing audio equipment and having fun with a buddy. But it was like, hey, we'll go through and watch a Frasier episode and then whatever episode was also on TV that week. So, you know, you would pick a random Frasier from 1994 and you're like, holy shit, now there's the Family Matters where Steve turns into Stefan. We got to do that episode. So you join a Family Matters group. So yeah, now I saw this post about this guy who had like a terrible childhood. But it says, as a 39-year-old white guy, I miss this wholesome show, which I mean, I guess I never really identified like I'm white, and maybe that's why I like Family Matters. Never really crossed my mind. I just thought it was a good show. So I watched this show almost every day around dinner time growing up. Sounds lovely. And again, I don't know why this guy's so focused on his race. That's also what struck me very oddly about this post. I was like, okay, man, you can just say you're a 39-year-old guy. You don't have to say that you're a 39-year-old white guy. But whatever, to each their own. Yeah. Hey, if you're watching right now, I'm white. I don't know if you know this. I'm going to pop my head up on the screen here. And I love Family Matters. I don't think it has anything to do with me being white. I think Family Matters is an incredible show no matter who you are. Steve Urkel is a comedy genius. Jaleel White's performances in that show, like, I know we're all doing we might be kind of doing bits. TGIF was greatness. It was. Is this the Urkel show? Although show went to Hawaii and Disney. Damn right they did. But no, if you watch one nowadays, like, because I did go back and watch these with a more critical eye, and not all of them, but I've watched a few of them. The performances by Jaleel White are outstanding. And same thing with the guy who plays Carl Winslow, Reginald Reginald Vel Johnson. I gotta remember look it up. But the two of them together are just outstanding, and you feel bad for the rest of the cast who did kind of get phased out as the show went on. Like Laura was able to keep roles, but there were other complete cast members that were just written off the show at a certain point because, like, we don't need the grandma, we don't need the cousin, we don't need the sister of the mom anymore. We don't need them. Get rid of them. But Jaleel White and Reginald are so damn good. Yeah. James Evans, all right. I like it. Holy shit, Steve is white. Damn right. Step by Step is outstanding. So I saw this post, and it cracked me up because it's not me. But I did like that this guy mentioned how white he was. But my family life was abusive growing up, and that made me feel sad. I didn't like reading that. But while I watched the show, I wish they were my family. And I won't ever say that I wished they were my family, but I think we all kind of wanted that about TGIF shows because it was idealized. It was kids packaged programming for us to a degree. So that doesn't mean the performances are any less special, but I can see why somebody would wish that they were their family. When they were on TV, that was my little bit of escape and seeing into normal, loving family life. So that's great for this guy. And then everything is getting the reboot treatment, but I truly hope that this show does not get remade. So the only time I remember it getting remade was during an SNL bit where they did like a hardcore version of it, where I believe Steve Urkel's just a real badass now, and Carl's a real intense cop on the streets. Yeah, man, Suzanne Summers, oof, bro. Okay, whole wiki dedicated to TGIF programming block. So, man, I'll do it because I love TGIF. All the iterations. As you heard me mention a little earlier, my little sister's 5 years younger than me. I was not very popular, so I hung out a lot. Even when I'm 13, 14, 15, I'm still hanging out with a 10-year-old little sister watching TGIF and stuff like that. So even if it's Sabrina going into the 2000s and stuff like that, I love the TGIF shows. They were outstanding. I don't revisit them a bunch, but they're fun to go back and watch with a somewhat critical eye. A lot of them are terrible. A lot of them push weird, closeted homophobia is still like in a lot of those 90s shows, funnily enough. Not a ton of the TGIF ones, but you'll still see it a little bit where it's like, oh, don't do that. And it's because it's, somebody with another dude or something like that. So there's still a lot of that in the 90s, but most of those shows are pretty solid. Full House is the one that does not hold up as well. As much as I love Uncle Joey and Uncle Jesse. Or sorry, only one of them's an uncle. One of them's just a rando. As much as I love those cats, the whole show's tone is just terrible. And it's almost unbearable to watch as an adult, where you're like, oh man, by the end of this episode, I am begging to watch a Frasier, or I am begging to watch Jaleel White steal a scene with physical comedy. Dinosaurs a part of TGIF. I think Dinosaurs was maybe a Monday or Tuesday show. It might have been popped onto Fridays randomly. Like, that's why you might think something was a TGIF staple. because I think they might have tried to like pump it up, or they would burn episodes late in the order where they're like, hey, we've got 8 extra episodes, let's just burn them or something like that. That's the only reason I can think of. Dukes of Hazzard with Catherine Bach. All right. I never watched much Dukes of Hazzard. That's the one with Jessica Simpson and the butt. I think that's right. Tavares?
Tavares.
Right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah,
That's right. This is it. That's right. This is the best. All right. I don't really have a bunch of other stories other than this other one. I was supposed to shrink the news. Honey's really mad at me because we're at like an hour 10 right now. What time is it? 7:30? Good gracious. All right. I'll do one more quick one because why not? A big cockroach. I said roach. Crashes State Department press briefing, alarms a spokesman in an awkward scene. And I only put this on here because this photo cracked me up. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Look at this big cockroach photo. Oh, man. So I haven't even read the story. Don't care to. But I'll get into this another time about the P. They've got great puns already. He didn't mean to bug is the first line there. So great New York P writing as always. But apparently an unwanted cockroach encroached upon a State Department spokesman's press briefing Thursday. So do you guys deal with cockroaches? It's Texas. I know I've heard Kavanaugh mention this about how gross you feel anytime you see a cockroach. I hate it, but they still manage to get in randomly. Like every now and then you'll see one and you're like, why? Why is this cockroach here? Where is it coming from? How did it get here? Did it walk in the door when I walked in? Or is there a vulnerable spot in my house? And I've got pest control. I've got people that come around and spray and they go in the backyard and they scare me and freak me out. I have not WD-40'd any of the door hinges yet. Yep, still pretty squeaky. Pretty squeaky. The roach gets in. Just saw a big one in the office today. It's usually just crickets. No, but June bugs are growing in numbers. Keep your head on a swivel, people. Roaches survive nuclear shit. Yeah, I don't know if y'all watch King of the Hill, but there is an episode where Dale Gribble has to take on an entire, I believe, like army of roaches that get unleashed. I believe it's when he becomes a guy who fires people at a corporate office. Outstanding episode. I probably need to revisit that one. Used to watch that series a ton and haven't gone back. But in this story, yes, I guess this guy, Matthew Miller, was holding a press briefing, and he was prompted, he had to interrupt his remarks because somebody said, I hate to interrupt. There's a big cockroach on the wall over your head there. I don't know why I'm making it British. Miller said with a grin to the Associated Press reporter Matt Lee. Great. No insecticide or roachicide in the briefing, Matt. Sorry to be distracted, but that's a rather large one. Oh, okay. So it must have been a big old fat cockroach. That door sounds like one from a haunted movie soundboard. Yeah, it does. That's probably my squeakiest one in the house, too. I probably should do something about that. It's these two double doors. So my office is like, I don't know who built this room, but it's got the highest effing ceilings in the world. And it doesn't sound great. And it's got these two double doors that open, kind of like, I don't know, whatever double doors open like. They're not barn doors, but And yeah, they squeak like hell. And they've got like one of those locks on the top. Like if you were in a creepy New York hotel or something like that, and you had to put those pound lock things, not a padlock, but thing that the like bar that goes over. It's got one of those on the top. Squeaky as hell though. Rusty Shackelford. That's right, Rusty Shackelford. Rusty Shackelford got me out of a ticket one time. Like, let me back up. I bet the name Rusty Shackelford and me being white, I'll be very honest about that. Is that I don't know that if my last name were Shackelford and the situation were different, that every cop's going to treat you cool. But I definitely had a good old boy cop one time who was like, Shackelford, man, I love that rusty Shackelford. Yeah, man, get that inspection tag checked out for me, all right? Just, you have a good one. You know, I was like, all right, sweet. I was like, if that's all it takes, the guy comes up and sees my last name and I'm out of here, perfect. King of the Hill is coming back with new shows on Hulu. I know Johnny Hardwick has passed, who played Dale Gribble, so I don't know how they'll handle that. Maybe a lot of his stuff was already cut, and apologies, I don't know. I have not looked all that stuff up yet about when that is coming back. And maybe if they got a new voice actor who is similar sounding to finish up some stuff he hasn't cut yet and to take over the role moving forward. Yes, Rusty Shackelford is my Steve. French doors. That's what they're called. French. I should know that. My name is French, by the way. Shackelford. It's named after a man named Jacques Leford. I don't think that's true. Somebody told me that once. Yeah, Pound Lock is hot, right? That's the one where you get to like listen to them, and they've got the like little curly thing on the top. I think so. Rusty Shackelford Cumbermelon. Dale died from bug spray. Did he really? Oh, no. That's probably how they'll do. He recorded some episodes for season 1. That's what I figured. I was like, I bet he has something in the can for season 1. And it's a unique enough voice. And it's fine in animation. Like, if you can make it through and you can just subtly switch out the voice, it's fine. It's the inflection and the deliveries, like the comedic delivery where I think you might lose some stuff. But the voice tone, I bet they can find somebody to match it pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. All right, so yeah, back to this cockroach story. Yeah, it looks like nobody... Okay. Not long after this guy was alerted about the pest, a department sound engineer did some quick debugging. Okay. It sounds like the guy must have just hit it. So I don't think there's a shot of him hitting it. It just goes right to that. Solves that problem, Miller said, after some banging noises were heard on the news conference feed. Interesting. Some banging noises, huh? Those are the only banging noises I support. Solves that problem, like they said. Okay, so New York City, it does mention here, the nation's capital for roaches. Did not know that. I don't know if that's because there's so many people. This is the New York P. I'll share the screen. I have no problem. I'll have a whole new batch of New York P's tomorrow. I do have 2 work meetings that are going to conflict with some of my stuff. But yes, this is the New York P. Yeah, here's the roach up at the top. There it is. Look at that. Oh, they moved on. Look at all these videos and ads. That's why you got to kick it to reader mode sometimes. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes it won't. Kick to reader mode. Oh, look at that. Oh, it just gives me the cookies. Look at you stupid cookies, News Corp piece of crap. Screw your reader mode. I'll move off. Anyway. Yeah, it sounds like some stuff about George Santos gets mentioned there. Again, I try not to get too political. Everybody buys shoes. I think that's what Michael Jordan said or something. Lucid is a kick-ass electric car. Okay, good to know. What are the good electric cars out there? Is Rivian electric? I work in automotive, and I don't know because I kind of just work on SEO. Is Rivian an EV? It is. What's the Lucid? Lucid, is that a manufacturer? It appears it is. Lucid Motors, home, our in-house developed technology and advanced EV motors. Okay, and so they were running an ad on that screen there. That's one of the reasons get Brave browser eliminated, blow off work, take us to Steve Aretaville. I can't tomorrow. I have to. So, funnily, if y'all listened to the Ben and Skin show today, which please do. I mean, listen to them. They opened with a story about automotive software, which I did not see coming. But yeah, the CDK hack is a big deal. And not that that has anything to do with my work meetings tomorrow, but I do work in the automotive industry, and it is all very important that I'm very sharp for my meetings tomorrow. It certainly has nothing to do with the CDK hack and the company I'm with. But I'm going to go off here. Get Brave browser eliminates all the BS ads. You know what? I like the ads because that way I can cost people money. That's what ads do. So every time you see those ads, that's some dumb company spending money on something that I'll never buy, hopefully. So you click on them, they have to pay for that. If you click on them 20 times, they have to pay for it 20 times. And if you never buy anything, guess what? It just makes their ad campaigns look like they performed so poorly, they'll never run ads again. Or they will. And they'll just keep losing money as you cost them when you click on their dumb ads and do nothing. Sure, they get your user data. But no, I don't respond to online ads. But the Lucid, good to know. That was a good little bit of organic marketing for Lucid there as I shared their New York Post screen. All right. My day job is that I work for a battery manufacturer. You don't want to invest in a... Hey, this is great knowledge because I've always heard this as well too. So I'm a big fan of the combustion engine for this exact reason. My day job is that I work for a battery manufacturer. You don't want to invest in an electric car yet unless you just keep them for 2 years and trade them in. Right. I bought a new car 6 months ago. I at no point considered an EV. And this is not a politically backed stance or anything else like that. I just don't think the battery technology is there yet, honestly. And I like the combustion engine. I really do. I know it's bad for the environment. I understand the combustion engine, not for me to work on it, but I understand how it works. Batteries, I feel like when my phone battery is dead, if my cord isn't in there the right way, it doesn't work. Okay? So, like, that's what I fear, is that I'm going to get to a charging station and there's going to be, like, dust or chocolate inside of my charging port, and I'm never going to be able to drive again. Versus fuel, I could literally like suck it out of a hose of a school bus and just like shove it into my other like hole in my car, and then the engine would just work. So SEO, yeah, SEO, search engine optimization, exclusively for car dealers, and it's terrible. It's soul-sucking work, but it's fun. They should make more hybrids. I do like hybrids. I think I drove a Prius once when I rented one on like a road trip or something. It's fine. I had no problem with it. Liked it a bunch. Velveeta. Velveeta has a weird taste, but I still eat it. The Velveeta shells and cheese, my kids love it. And it's weird. It doesn't taste real at all. It tastes like the most processed thing on earth, but I'll eat it. I have a Toyota Camry hybrid. Okay, I don't need to charge it, and it gets 500 plus miles to an 11-gallon tank. Ooh, 11 gallons is pretty sweet. Tell that to the kids that mine. Those battery fires are crazy. Chocolate dust for sure. Yeah. Replacing one. Yeah. That's it. I don't like replacing normal batteries for my car. That's like $200, and then they even shame you about that. They're like, you should really get the $400 one. If you really want the cold crank, that's the reason your battery's dead, is you don't have the ultimate cold crank Duramax exclusive Bagunza edition. And you're like, well, how much is that? Like $599. Like, okay, all right, I'll do it. How much will you pay me for my current one? Like, pay you? You have to pay us to destroy your battery. Your battery is so bad for the environment, there's a battery disposal fee. So that's what I love. I love when they charge me to get rid of cold cranking amps. Doesn't matter in Texas. I know. My battery died once. It wouldn't start up. So I had to get a new one. And then I had to research everything. And I'm like, I don't know. I was gone for a week and then it wouldn't start. I guess I don't have enough cold cranks. I need more cold cranks in my amps. I'm not a car person. Oh, Velveeta is so good with ground beef. See, now I might pivot to Velveeta. It might be too late to order McDonald's now. I might have talked myself out of McDonald's. That was like an hour ago. All right, it's 7:47. Cold crank. That is, you want RC reserve capacity. Okay, high RC. I do love Royal Crown Cola. This is some informative shit here from Texas Carter about the battery world. Gold crank amp to Kathy Ireland got me, though. All right. Until the grid freezes. I think I'm going to sign off We're at an hour 24. I think KT's doing some stuff. I can't remember exactly what time the thing with Jake is. Check on it. Let's check his Twitter together. Let's do it together. Maybe he tweeted about it. Did KT tweet about his stuff? I love that human more than anyone on earth. Oh, there it is. It's the first thing I see on my Twitter. Beautiful. Look at that sweet son of a bitch. All right. Pour Velveeta on your McDouble. God, that's a great idea. No, I might not like Gavin Dawson, the G-Bag Nation, or Kevin Hanks. They're all nice people. I'm fine. Sorry, you guys are seeing the way my Twitter algorithm works here. So 8:30 p.m. tonight, we get in tight with Not Jack Kemp, followed by Family Game Night. YouTube.com at KT Fun Tweets. So 8:30 p.m. So if you're hanging here, that's right, I have one thing I know. The grid will need more CCAs. David. Oh, what did David say? Cole Crank after Kathy Ireland. Exactly. 8:30 tonight. I guess it's going down on YouTube.com at KT Fun Tweets. That's the in tight. So that's not the out loose. This is not out loose. This is in tight. All right? And you're going to want to be there tonight. I'm going to post the link right now because he's got it right here, even though I think everyone on here probably knows it. But yes, it's Kevio Game Night. It's YouTube.com at KT Fun Tweets. Go watch that sweet son of a bitch. All right. I'm going to play the song here, and then we'll get out of here. Honey, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's go back to Honey over here. Honey, say goodnight.
Seems like you don't have a clue. So honey, I shrunk the news. You look like you got too much to do. So honey, I shrunk.
Come on.
Honey, I shrunk. Honey, I shrunk the news.
Shrink it, honey.